Welcome back to World Hour. Jakarta's traffic has been an ongoing, persistent problem. Now, as the city's residents increase their standards of living, many find convenience in purchasing a private vehicle, like a car or a motorcycle. Now, experts say that compounds the issue of traffic, which has remained unsolvable for the past few years. Now, with us in the studio today is Dutheil, founder of the Apaja application that aims to help its users navigate and choose the best form of transport. Hi Robin, thank you for joining us today. Let's dive right in. Yes. Now, many have tried and many have failed. Now, why is Jakarta's traffic such a persistent problem?
Actually, it's such a persistent problem because one of the main issues in Jakarta is nobody really took care of the infrastructure of public transportation. So one of the results of this is that more and more people are using private vehicles. So far, the latest stat we got is about 27% only of the population are using public transportation, which in the whole Jabodetabek, the greater Jakarta, it's about 20 million people more who are using private vehicles, and which result on this traffic jam because the road cannot contain all of those vehicles.
And why do you think they prefer to have private vehicles as compared to public transportation?
If we look, for example, if we compare Jakarta compared to the other cities who have more people using public transportation, we can see that the public transportation in those cities such as Singapore, Tokyo and else are much more convenient compared to what we have in Jakarta. We can see in Jakarta some bus like Apaja, Metro Mini, Angkot that can be like pretty old, doesn't have any aircon. And sometimes when I watch Warkop DKI, I can still see the same Metro Mini that we got nowadays on the road. So there is a lack of renewal, and we don't have also enough armada to help all the people in Jakarta.
Oh, but do you agree that that is the root of the problem then, public transportation? Or do you have any idea, any other suggestions as to why Indonesia traffic is ongoing apart from public transportation?
Yes, honestly, I really believe in that because if we look at the other cities that have lots of people using public transportation, we have less traffic. And if we compare about like on how many people we can have in a bus and how much it takes when they use car, it takes a lot of place on the street. If we have like, compared to 27%, if we go for example to 40 to 50%, that will be like more than 3 million vehicles less on the street. And one of the main issues is like we need to renew this public transportation to make it much more comfortable and having people changing their mindset, thinking about public transportation is not a bad thing. Actually, it could help. So instead of complaining of the transportation of the traffic, better to taking the public transportation.
So do you think that if they betterify Indonesian public transportation, it would suppress congestion in Jakarta?
Yes, exactly. For example, we can see that lately there has been lots of changes. For example, from Transjakarta, we have like new feeders coming here, and we have like more and more people using this. We have also some data from Transjakarta saying that lately we have more people using it. One of the results also of the suppression of the 3-in-1. And from the feedback we had all around, because since we've been working on Apaja, we've been talking to a lot of people, and many people are waiting to have a bus that has the aircon that is safer to take it. And
but they have a lot of aircons. I think most buses here are already installed with air conditions, and also such as commuter lines. But do people still? What are people still waiting for? Like, AC is there. It's quite convenient, I must say.
Actually, if we look at the transportation that already have AC, we have a lot of people using it. But if we look compared to all of the transportations, actually it's just a few percentage because most of the transportation in Jakarta is actually the angkot and the medium buses. Which actually take a few capacity of people and doesn't have aircon. So many people complain about this. But then when we look with the new buses we got in Jakarta that have the AC, we have more and more people taking it. So as I said earlier, one of the issue is the armada of buses who are safer and have the aircon still is not enough. We should increase it.
What about commuter lines?
Our commuter lines, we can see lots of changes. Like if we look 7 years ago, people were still taking on the top of the train, and it was like really a mess.
Yeah.
But with the previous president of PTKI, made a lot of changes. We have more trains, and now lots of people are using it. It's very convenient, but still, the train is still limited in terms of the number of train, but also on where it can be served. It can be served only to some few places in Jakarta.
Right.
It's doing well for where it goes, but we need to have more. We need to have more alternatives, and to be able to go to from the station, for example, to our house, but with more convenience.
Okay, speaking of alternatives, now what are other untried methods to sort this traffic problem in Jakarta?
So there are some untried methods that actually in process. There is the MRT. There is the LRT, and also all the revitalization of the armada of the buses. So we know that MRT is now on process, and LRT too should be finished by 2018. And now actually we have the government of Jakarta that is on process to change all the Apaja with new buses, much bigger, with aircon and GPS, and much more convenient. One of the other issue is we have a lack of information, because now we have lots of new buses coming, but people don't know where to get the info, what is the price, where it goes. So that's where comes Apaja. We want to be the bridge between the buses and the people, the population, being able to show them, if you want to go anywhere, we got the data, we can show you the navigation, how much it costs.
All right. So they say if you're stuck in traffic, you are the traffic.
Exactly.
Now, what can the citizens contribute to lessen the traffic in Jakarta?
Yeah. First, they have to fight with their own ego. Because one of the things in Jakarta is people are really into the social status. They think that we have to show we got money, even if we don't have much. We need to buy a great phone, and we need to have a big car. So that's why lots of people prefer to take their own car to go anywhere instead of taking public transportation when they actually don't need to take the car.
So they're embarrassed to take public transportation.
Exactly.
Yeah?
So what we have to do is thinking about how we can make it more positive, a better image to take public transportation. And then if we have more people using public transportation, that will really help on the traffic jam.
Okay, is it because of Jakarta's overpopulation that causes traffic? What are your thoughts on that?
It's one of. Let's say that Jakarta has really grew up very quickly, but the infrastructure did not follow
grow,
this.
yes.
So when we look at the current public transportation, it used to be good back 10, 20 years ago. But then recently we are now, the Greater Jakarta is the second biggest metropole in the world. But when we look at the infrastructure for the public transportation, we are far behind. We still don't have the MRT, which Singapore already has, which KL already has. So
we're underdeveloped,
yes,
in a way?
if we look at the stats, we can see that the amount of vehicles and population increased a lot, but then the public transportation didn't follow. So this is one point to do. It's going to take some time, but if everybody really work together on that, not only so everybody waits always from the government to do the first step, but it doesn't come only from the government, it also comes from ourselves.
All right, okay, let's talk about the 3-in-1 elimination,
Yes.
which happened today. Now, do you think that would help solve bad traffic in Indonesia?
Yeah, so honestly, I never really believed in the 3-in-1, because if we look, we have the jockey.
Yes, that is true.
So even if we are alone in a car, we just have to take some few jockey, and we still can go. When people tell that, since we don't like the previous weeks, we didn't have the 3-in-1 as a test, as a trial, many people say that there is more traffic jam, which actually, honestly, I'm often on the street. I'm taking bus. I like to go to Sudirman, that area that is very congested.
Yes.
I didn't see much changes.
You didn't see the difference, yeah?
No, but I think this is psychological, because many people think that since there is no 3-in-1, so it means that we have more traffic jam. But I saw since 2 to 3 years ago that we already have the traffic jams from 11 until 8, 9, 10. So it was already.
So their mindset.
Exactly. And even more, sometimes like, the 3-in-1 was off, then back again. But people didn't see it, that it was back again. We couldn't make the difference. So I think that one of the point is for sure the public transportation, but let's say we can't force everybody to use public transportation. I believe that the ERP system would be much better, because whether we have jockey or not, we still have
to pay.
To pay.
That's
so
true.
this is back to the you are not stuck in traffic, you are traffic.
Yeah.
So since you are traffic, you pay the tax for that.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, like, we have alternative roads during a 3-in-1 as well, and people take that to get away from traffic. Now, but why is traffic still so bad, even with people using alternative roads?
Oh, that is easy, because the capacity of the road in Jakarta cannot contain all the traffic.
Because there's too many cars.
Too many cars, and that's also why I agreed with Pak Jokowi when back few years ago he didn't want to accept those cheap cars in Jakarta, because having cheap cars means having more cars. Having more cars means increasing the traffic jam in Jakarta. So we really have to reduce it in different ways.
All right, then we hope that with no 3-in-1, the roads will be better. Thank you so much. That's all the time we have today. Hope to see you again.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, coming up, we've got the latest sports updates for you. Stay with us on World Hour.